Hi everyone, my name is Emma. I work with the UC VAWLT program. Today we will be reviewing scientific writing. What is scientific writing? Well, scientific writing is a writing style that describes and analyzes scientific materials and/or experiments and presents them to an audience that may not be familiar with scientific knowledge. This is the style that lab reports are most often written in. Sometimes scientific writing uses a title page. This is something that is best to check with your instructor about because sometimes they won't require this. The title page should include the title of the paper or report, the author of the report, the date, the location, and the instructor that the report was created for. Scientific writing, much like APA, requires an abstract. This is where we summarize each section of the report. It needs to be in past tense. It presents the questions that were addressed within the paper. The abstract is generally written last so that it can be used in a reflective kind of way. The introduction is one of the most important parts of a piece of scientific writing. This is where the hypothesis belongs, which lets the reader know what experiment is being conducted and why. The introduction needs to be written in present tense. It needs to be clear and concise. It should explain why the experiment is being conducted. The introduction should always include the hypothesis. It can be a few paragraphs and sometimes up to a few pages. The introduction should include any questions that you intend to answer that are in addition to the hypothesis. The introduction should include a comparison of your work and research to other previously published work and research. You use this and the hypothesis to hook the reader and explain why this work and/or research is important. In Methods and Materials section of your writing, you want to be sure to use past tense. The Methods and Materials section is where you describe the procedures and the materials used in the experiment. Only use relevant technical information. Summarize without going too in-depth. Do not simply list the materials and methods. Be sure to present the material in a way that another scientist could perform the same experiment. In the results section, you should describe the results that were found. Use past tense and keep it objective. It should not include any type of judgment or opinion. The results section is where your relevant tables, figures, charts, and/or graphs belong. Be sure not to start this section of the paper with any of your graphics. This section should begin with text that informs and directs the reader to the figures. Be sure to describe and summarize each figure within the results section. The results section is not the place for interpretation or discussion of the results. It is to objectively summarize the results. The discussion and conclusion section of your paper needs to be written in present tense. This is where you discuss your results. You should use comparison to similar experiments when possible. Be sure to discuss future possibilities and any potential anomalies. This section is designed to explain what the results mean in relation to your hypothesis. The conclusion is also where you again compare your results and work to other previously published results and work. You should use the hook technique again in this section as well to display why this work was important. Here are some helpful tips. Scientific writing most often uses third person, which means that there shouldn't be any I, me, or my. Use active voice and be clear and concise. Be sure to have solid topic sentences. Check your rubric and with your instructor for specifics about headers, tables, figures, etc. Remember that hypotheses are never proven. They are only verified, substantiated, etc. When citing your sources, keep in mind that scientific writing follows APA guidelines for both work cited and in-text citation. For more help with APA, please see our tutorial at the link on this page. These are the sources that I used creating this tutorial. And for further assistance with the writing process, you can contact us at the VAWLT website and chat live or submit a help request. You can also check out other existing tutorials on the site. If you prefer to email, you can email to ucvalt@maine.edu. You can also check us out on Google+ and Twitter.